matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA096.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you.
Oh, there it goes. Hey Taylor, how are you?
Good. How are you? I was
Good.
just saying I haven't moved in a week.
That's you know what? As long as you're happy,
I am happy. Thank you.
great. Um, you said it's raining over there?
Yeah, so I live on top of a big hill. It's like next to a mountain. And the last couple days, we were like in the cloud. And after like 3 days of being in a cloud, it's like disturbing and weird. Like you can't see anything outside. Like you can't see to the end of the driveway. Like you can see absolutely nothing. And then like at night, I like would walk out in the backyard and it was really cool because it was just like, you walk 30 feet from the house and you can't see the house anymore and you're just like in fog and it was cool. But we finally saw a little bit of sun today and then it started to rain again, but we can at least see again out. But it's cool. I saw the biggest rainbow I've ever seen. I like lost my mind. I screamed till everyone came and saw it. So it was nice.
I am really into, so as I mentioned, I went to New Mexico recently, and man, that desert scape is there's something to that. Like the colors that come out of the desert scape are kind of remarkable.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
The pinks, wild
Hmm.
pinks. So I really enjoyed it. That's so lovely. That's great.
Yeah,
Glad you're out of the cloud, and in the
me too.
rain.
Yeah.
So, well, do you want to go ahead and introduce us?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Doomed to Fail. We bring you historical disasters and failures. And today, as far as his turn, he told me he doesn't have a disaster or a failure.
No, I have something pleasant and cute.
Yay. I love that. I'm
Yes.
excited. I'm ready.
I'm going to be covering a thing that isn't the thing we think it is anymore, but has a very cute, rich, and chaotic history, and it is Pluto.
The planet?
You can't call that. You can't call that anymore, Taylor. You're gonna get us canceled.
The dwarf planet?
There it is.
Cool. What a cutie pie.
It is a cutie pie. So we're going to talk about the discovery, why it was even discovered in the first place, its rise to the ninth planet that Taylor and I are old enough to have had to memorize,
1,000%.
which kids now will never understand. And what happened to it? Like, why don't we recognize it as a planet anymore? Why is it as what Taylor just called a dwarf planet? So it's a lot of fun facts, a lot of fun history.
I mean, kids still learn about it, but they just don't. I'm excited for you to tell me how many dwarf planets there are. Do you know?
Do kids actually still learn about it?
Yeah. Um, Absolutely. Well, we also just watched the Rick and Morty where Jerry goes to Pluto and tells them there's still a planet and they're really excited about it and they think he's a scientist. So that could be why we talked about it recently, but I think that they talked about it before. They know a lot about space at this age.
Okay. Yeah, there are a few dwarf planets that we can get into. Well, not super in the details though, because I'm gonna get on my depth really fast. But we'll talk about Pluto in particular.
Cool.
So we're gonna start in the early 20th century with a bit of a mystery. So astronomers had noticed that there were some little weird wibble wobbles going on in Neptune's orbit, and they couldn't explain why that was happening. Neptune is the eighth planet from the sun, and years before its discovery, astronomers had noticed the exact same effect happening on Uranus, which is the one planet over from Neptune. So
Can I
they
read
were
them in
like,
order? I just looked it up. Can I read them in order for the
yeah,
fans?
go.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune.
Yeah, so furthest out being Pluto, then Neptune, then Uranus.
I hate Jupiter so much. I hate how
Why?
big it's so big and it's constantly thunderstorming.
It's really scary. I think that that one thunderstorm has been going on for 700 years, and it's like bigger than Earth.
It scares me so much. If I think about it, I get worried. And then also, have you read the story All Summer in a Day? Just if anyone remembers that from junior high, life ruining. Keep going. I'm
Don't
just
read
looking at
it
a picture
then.
and just it's so much bigger than Earth and it's just like constantly thunderstorming. Like,
Okay,
ew.
so I'm gonna do another shout out here. So there's a channel on YouTube called Boring Space, and it is this old English gentleman speaking in a very calming tone. And the videos last for like 2 to 4 hours each, and it's all just visuals of space. So like it's very educational. But also if you're needing something to just like have on the TV as like white noise to go to sleep to, I put on my timer for the TV to an hour. I start watching that. I'm thrilled. I'm fascinated. It is the most awesome thing. And then I'm asleep before I know it.
Do you dream about space then?
I don't remember my dreams.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. But anyways, people check these guys out. They're like it's awesome. And also that's why on this topic because I've been like in a weird space mode lately, like where the more you learn, the more you're like, I don't understand anything.
Hmm.
So
No, totally.
that's where I'm at.
Which is like good to know.
We don't know anything.
Yeah, like don't, just have that open mind.
Be an open mind, be an open
Mm.
book. Well, so back to Uranus and Neptune. So because we found Neptune because of the Uranus will wobble, we thought that there was something behind Neptune further out from the sun that could be causing the wibble wobbles there. That was the idea. And that's where the hypothesis came up of Planet X, a planet that is lurking on the complete outer edges of the solar system with a gravitational pull sufficient to be like tugging on other planets closer to the sun. That was the
Cool.
idea. So here we'll introduce a guy named Percival Lowell. Percival came from a rich Boston family, and it sounds like he just had a lot of free time, and his main passion was space and space exploration and astronomy. He was also like a very accomplished mathematician. I think he like was a Harvard professor of math at some point.
What year is
Um,
this?
this would have been well, so Percival was born in 1859, I think. But the year we're talking about is like 1906 times, 19 like literally like the beginning of the 1900s.
Nice. Typhoid Mary is making everybody sick in New York City, and this
Percival's
nerd
doing
is
his
learning about
thing.
space. I love it.
Beautiful. So Percival was also a very accomplished mathematician. So he wasn't just somebody who's like, I'm gonna look at stuff in the sky and like be fascinated by it. Like he was smart enough to try and figure things out mathematically, you know? It's
Hmm.
one of those things which I don't understand at all. So he became obsessed with finding whatever it was in the galaxy that was causing this orbital disturbance on Neptune. And starting in 1906, Percival started searching for Planet X and established the Lowell Observatory, which is his observatory, to help and aid in finding this Planet X. He would eventually pass away 10 years later. So 1906 he starts, 1916 he dies. And that's before Planet X was ever actually identified, which is weird and interesting and fun because they actually did find it. They found it in 1915 and they just assumed they were looking at a star. They didn't know it was a planet.
And like we're talking like we're looking at like a blurry dot in the
It
middle
is
of
stupid
like there's
how big
nothing.
space is.
Yes.
Like our
That's what I mean.
galaxy is like crazy big and it's like nothing in the
Like
grand
asking you the
scheme of
number of dwarf
things.
planets is stupid because the answer is a billion. But like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that the most recent thing I heard was that they found so far they've identified 24 planets that are basically like Earth in the observable universe.
Hmm.
So there's probably billions more out there. Also, we don't actually know what's in our own galaxy. Like we haven't actually figured all that out because again, it's huge. So I'm gonna get into that.
Getting a little nervous, but keep going.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
So years later, we're in 1929. Percival's long dead. And the task to find this planet X falls to an observatory assistant named Clyde Tombaugh, a 23-year-old kid from Kansas, a farm boy. He has no formal education, but he's just super into stars and space. It kind of sounds like the guy in charge of the observatory, the director, this guy named Vesto Melvin Slipher, was kind
Hmm.
of over this project, was like, just let this kid do it. Who cares? You know?
Hmm.
This is like when I don't understand this stuff at all, Taylor. Like from what I can gather, this guy Vesto was into like much more grandiose issues that he was trying to address. So he is the one behind the main theory that proves that the universe is expanding. And
Like I don't
I
understand how that's a job.
I don't know either.
I'm gonna
I think it's like grants or something. But like he discovered this thing called redshifting, which is like a physics term for electromagnetic radiations, and somehow you you figure out where the magnets and the waves and the lights are, and that tells you that things are moving out. Un it's insane.
wow.
Anyways, back to Clyde. So he only had access to like a modest telescope at the Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona. Clyde undertook a painstaking search and he systematically photographed sections of the night sky weeks apart and used a device called a blink comparator to flip between images looking for any tiny dot that moved against the backdrop of the stars. And then after months of just, I guess, a ton of headaches, I have no idea how this guy did this. Clyde finally struck gold. On February 18th, 1930, he noticed a dim speck shifting position, and that was Planet X, and Clyde was the one who discovered it. Also, I wrote this down in the outline. So before anybody asks, I researched how they know it's the same thing and that it's not just some meteor or something else moving in the night sky.
Hmm.
And it led me to a thing called apparent retrograde motion, which we mitigated based on a thing called opposition points. I have no idea what any of this means. Like, it is stupid science.
Oh, the opposition points.
It's like, it is
Okay.
such advanced science. Like, I'm,
I mean, it's just this everything I say is going to be really dumb, but it's just so far away. It's like I can't believe that they can even see it at all or anything, you
we need
know?
science, Taylor. We got that hot take.
I mean, no, I'm saying we need science because I don't understand any of this, and it's just wild how far away those things are. I'm not saying it's too far away to look at. I'm saying it's so far away I can't believe they can see it, you know?
So in the middle of all this, I will admit, I like started researching like really nice telescopes and was like, it would be cool to be able to see like a planet or something, you know? And like $5,000 will get you something that to your eye will look like 1 pixel of like
Yeah.
a planet, like 2 planets away from us. Like it is like,
I mean, we can see a lot of stars here, and like sometimes people are like, "Oh, you can see Mars or whatever," and I'm like, "I guess I don't know, anything.
yeah, yeah.
What do I know?"
So the observatory announced the discovery on March 13th, 1930, and then the next question became, what do we name this new planet? And some ideas were thrown around. One of them that I like, Minerva, which is like, that'd be cool.
I like Planet X. That's scary.
It's too intimidating.
I know, I know.
There was another one that was thrown out called Cronus, but apparently it was done by this guy named Thomas Jefferson Jackson C, who was an astronomer that everybody hated. Every
Okay, right.
astronomer hated this guy. He was one of those guys who was like, right, he was like a Karen. Like he would just write letters to the editor and be like, "Man, this is a bad." Like it was like, "God, you're so annoying. Just shut the fuck up." And so they basically didn't do Cronus only because he suggested it.
That's so funny.
But then there was Pluto, and I did not know this, but in Greek mythology, Pluto was is the ruler of the underworld. So
Hmm.
I thought Hades was, but apparently Hades is like the representative of the underworld, and Pluto is the actual god of the underworld.
Oh,
Um, and scientists thought, okay, well, this planet is far out there, it's unreachable, it's inhospitable, and it's like hell, whatever, we'll call it that. The one problem with it was that there was a thing called Pluto water, and that was a very popular laxative brand at the time. And its catchphrase was, quote, "When nature won't, Pluto will," which Typhoid
wow.
Mary probably used to kill a ton of people.
That's amazing.
The observatory, because of the name Pluto water, was like, we don't like this association, let's not do it. But then this little girl, this 11-year-old English schoolgirl, wrote in. Her name was Venetia Burney, and she wrote in to the observatory saying, "Hey, I suggest the name Pluto," and they thought it was really cute. It was a cute story. A kid recommended it. All that stuff. They went with Pluto. So that would be May 1st, 1930. The name Pluto was officially adopted, which is a fun coincidence too, because it's the exact same year that a short film called Frolicking Fish came out, starring Mickey Mouse's pet dog named Pluto. Total coincidence.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it does add to the cuteness, I think.
It does, but that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
total coincidence.
Hmm.
Weird, huh?
I was wondering which came first, but they came at the same time.
Yeah. Random. So, for the next several decades, Pluto enjoyed its status as the ninth planet, the most distant member of the planets in the solar system. Early on, Pluto didn't match the other planets. It was kind of like different and odd. And for one of the reasons it was odd was it was really small. So, by the 1970s,
I'm
scientists
so sorry.
realized,
Can't raise my hand.
yeah, please.
I have one more note. The mascot for Pluto Water is the devil.
No, that is Pluto because Pluto is the god of the underworld.
But it's also the devil, right?
It is also the devil.
And the same thing.
Yes.
Well, it's just very aggressive to have on your bottle. Please continue.
I mean, it's descriptive. If it's
I
a
mean,
really good laxative, like you
yes.
do feel like you're giving birth to the devil.
Huh. I found a picture of Houdini in front of a picture of the Pluto water. Anyway, keep going.
We'll keep going. Um, so the size of Pluto, it is about 1/459th the size of Earth's mass. Roughly 150 Plutos could fit inside the Earth. And besides that, the orbit of Pluto was also really different and off. And for the vast majority of planets around the sun, like we just all orbit around the equator center part, right? Pluto doesn't do that. It's highly elliptical and tilted. It's inclined about 17 degrees off a flat plane. Also, a year in Pluto lasts 248 Earth years because its orbit's huge because it's so far out from the sun.
So weird.
It also spins backwards, which is like weird. And then
Wow.
there's a matter of Pluto's moon. So for decades, we didn't know that Pluto had a moon. It was 1978 when an astronomer named James Christie discovered that Pluto has a moon that we now call Charon. And it's also weird because the moon is half as big as the planet itself. They're sometimes referred to as double planets, and they also don't orbit around like their own center of gravity. They orbit around a middle set, like they're pulling each other into a gravitational twist. Like they're always facing each other and pulling each other into a twist.
Because the moon's so big.
Because the moon's huge. Yeah.
I feel like I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, we understand things.
That makes sense to me.
So, for decades after Clyde's discovery, it was assumed that Pluto was the only thing that was out that far from the sun in the galaxy. It would take until 1951, an astronomer named Gerard Kuiper hypothesized that a whole belt of icy objects might exist out past Neptune. And it took a couple more decades and more like powerful telescopes to prove him right. So it was 1992, two astronomers finally spotted a icy body orbiting beyond Pluto, and that is what we now call the Kuiper Belt. So you get the sun, the planets, and then on the very edges of space, you have this like giant belt rotating around everything that is just a bunch of like ice everywhere.
And that's not even close to like the event horizon.
An event horizon is a black hole.
Isn't then what is the part where we'll never be able to see? Isn't there
So
like
we'll, I don't know if we never will be able to
I
see.
thought there was like a place where like if something passes a certain spot, we'll never please can all of the rocket scientists astronaut
Yeah,
what
you're
job
talking about a
job
black
is
hole.
this?
So a black
I don't
hole
think I'm talking
has,
about a black hole. But
you
you keep
are,
going. I'm not.
you're
I'm talking
100%
about
talking
the
about a black hole.
end. Is the whole end of the universe all one big black hole?
No, no, no. Yeah, you can't ever see. I get what you're saying. You can never see the end of the universe because light can never travel as fast as the universe is expanding, so it'll never actually reach our eyeballs. But an event horizon is the part of a black hole right before everything gets sucked into the black hole, which even light doesn't escape. And it's also an amazing movie, one of the best horror movies ever made. Please watch it.
Wild.
Support Event Horizon, please.
The observable horizon
There it is.
is
Okay.
where light from the Big Bang hasn't reached us yet.
Yes, that's the furthest from us. Yeah.
It's a physical limit created by time and expansion.
Yes.
Okay.
Which, if you want, you should watch the Lightyear episode of Boring Space because that discusses why light has a speed limit and why the universe expands faster than that speed limit, which I could explain to anybody here. I know all the physics, but I just don't have time.
I literally couldn't even think of the word for someone who studies stars while we were talking. I said astronaut. So like
I
keep
mean,
going.
it's close. It's close enough. Um, So over the 1990s and early 2000s, hundreds of other Kuiper Belt objects were discovered. Their sizes ranged. Some of them were huge, some of them were relatively small. And the more we learned about them, the less Pluto seemed unique. It wasn't like an isolated thing. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, there's a ton of these things that are out there in this Kuiper belt. And a pivotal moment came in 2005 when a team led by astronomer Mike Brown discovered an object named Eris. Eris appeared to be the same size as Pluto, orbiting even further out. So, if Pluto is a planet, why not Eris? And if both are planets, then why not the other large icy objects out by the Kuiper Belt? So,
Hmm.
what do we do? Do we just go from 9 planets to 10 to dozens or hundreds? Like, where do you actually, where do you stop and where do you identify what is a planet?
Hmm.
So scientists wanted to figure this out. In 2006, they came together for the meeting of the International Astronomical Union, IAU, in Prague, and they basically tried to get to put together a way to define planets in a way that was universal. And there was two options. One was a way to define it such that you kept Pluto as a planet, but then you'd also have to add three other planets. You'd have to add Charon, the moon for Pluto that we talked about. You have to add Eris, and you have to add another asteroid called Ceres.
And we're just
Um,
giving it to everyone.
Give it to everyone. At that point, it's like, well, what value does it have, right?
Like I was at the airport and the line for TSA pre-check was longer than the regular line.
It's just like that.
If everyone's special, then no one's special.
You're all special if you're listening to this. So, after much debate, final vote was tallied on August 24th, 2006, and they came with a definition that would demote Pluto from planet to dwarf planet. And a true planet would be one, an object that orbits the sun, two, is large enough for its gravity to pull it into some sort of a round shape, and three, it had to have cleared the neighborhood around its orbit of like other debris. Like it had to be have a strong enough gravitational pull to have done that.
Hmm.
And Pluto met the first two criteria. It orbits the sun and it's round, but it failed the third because it shares its orbital zone with a lot of the debris in the Kuiper belt. For what it's worth, from what I researched when I was
Hmm.
researching this, the Earth also wouldn't classify as a planet if it was that far out. So like, I don't know.
If we were that far away from the sun.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I don't know, like
Well,
it
I don't know, because
seems.
we like remember when Miles asked me what the name of our moon was, and I was like, it's just the moon, and the other moons have names. Like we made it all up, so like, yeah, we
Yeah,
could
it's all
we
made
could
up.
science ourselves out of being a planet. Yeah,
Yeah, what a rip. We could have had
but
we
it's
could have had 12
real.
planets instead we have eight. Um, so obviously there was public outcry. You might remember this. Now, like people our age can remember like memes of when I was your age, Pluto was a planet. Like
Hmm.
it was like a cultural thing. Actually, the American Dialect Society crowned Plutode, the meaning being to like demote or devalue something, as the 2006 word of the year. It's kind of fun. Also,
That just seems like extra mean.
it does. Well, it's all coming out of sentiment for Pluto, I think. One thing that I found interesting, and it proves how long Neil deGrasse Tyson's been at this thing. If y'all don't know, he's like a very, very famous astronomer, and he has space talk on YouTube and on podcasts, which is also really fun to listen to and watch. And also he gets interviewed 24/7, so like he's great. In the year 2000 was the director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York. I guess it's in New York City. Right. And in 2000, he himself ordered to remove Pluto as a part of the planet exhibit. So he was always in this category of like that's not a real planet. So
Hmm.
which is a little sad 'cause I like Neil deGrasse Tyson and I like
Like,
Pluto.
well, I feel like it should be. I learned the terrible history of the term grandfathered in, which you can look up on your own. It's terrible, but I feel like it should have been grandfathered in.
Man, I cannot stop thinking about why it is the word. I hate that you just said that because I'm like literally going to be thinking about this as I go through the rest of this outline. So thank you.
Uh-huh.
So also ironically, timing wise, in 2006, NASA launched a spacecraft to Pluto called New Horizon. And the whole point was it was going to do a flyby, a pass by, and try and collect as much data as it possibly could. And it took 9 years for New Horizon to reach Pluto. And as it did, one thing that I thought was really fun and cool was that they put the ashes of Clyde Tombaugh, the guy who discovered Pluto,
No
on the
way.
spaceship. Yeah, it was really fun.
That's terrifying.
So it launched in 2006. It got to Pluto in 2015, and all it was able to do was kind of do a little flyby and take some photographs and do some measurements, which it did. And the first images were incredible. Have you Googled Pluto?
I was just looking at it. I see some of the pictures that you just had.
Okay, it is the cutest thing in the world. It has a heart on it. Like it literally has a heart. Like it's really adorable. And then that's part of the surface that we can see that we saw on this flyby from New Horizon. And it's just an ice giant. It has apparently volcanoes that throw out slush and ice. It's like a wild place. Also, we think that there's like oceans of water underneath all the ice, which is like crazy. It's gotta be so scary. But the biggest and most interesting fact I thought was that Neptune or Pluto, this planet X that was supposed to have this gravitational pull on Neptune to make it wobble, it wasn't doing that at all. Like that's not the reason why it was having the wibble wobble situation with its orbit. Apparently, what happened is that every 11 years the sun starts flipping its magnetic field. Did you know that? Didn't know? Okay. You're muted, but I'm gonna assume you're gonna say you did not know that.
Sorry, no, I hate it, and I don't know what that means for us, but I don't like it.
It means
Although
really.
when I Google Pluto,
No, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. The heart on Pluto couldn't. You can also superimpose Pluto the dog's face on top of it, and if it's
Really? That's so
yeah,
cute.
I'll send you a link.
It
Super,
is very
super fire.
cute. Yeah, I learned this too. So apparently, every 11 years, the sun's magnetic field flips, and then there's periods of like crazy violence and mass coronal mass ejects and solar flares. Like it gets like really, like it affects us on Earth. Like it affects like electronics and it affects the weather. Like it's like really gnarly. And also, fun fact, so that's what's causing the disturbance that is resulting in the wibble wobble of Pluto or Neptune.
Hmm.
And also, if you're curious, we are currently in solar cycle 25. We're mid-flip, which started in December 2019. So it's not fun.
Huh, huh. So it spends time flipping, then it flips back.
Yeah, yeah, there's a full flip and then it starts again and it goes the other, it's wild.
Wild.
So yeah, it affects everything. It affects our weather. It affects our like everything. Like yeah, like the more you
Man.
learn, the more you realize you don't know anything, and
Yeah,
the more terrifying space becomes.
it's just too far away. I just don't like it. I know.
It's too
Keep
far.
going.
That's it. That was my story.
Well, that reminds me of some mail that we got also from our friend Nadine. But um, because remember I was like, well, what holidays are real? Like New Year's, I guess, because there's like a date on it, whatever. But like I'm stupid, and I keep saying that, but like you know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, duh, like holidays are about like the solstice and the sun and things like that,
Yeah,
you know? So like they like follow those patterns as well. So like it's just like I feel like I kind of wish I like just believed that there was just like a sun god that like walked around every day and then like I could just live with that,
that'd be
you know?
terrifying. I'd rather not have that.
I'd rather have Apollo with his chariot go over the freaking sky every day than have to know that Pluto is so far away and that there's ice oceans on it. Like, I don't want to
It's
know
terrifying.
that. I don't want to know the
Uh,
things I know about Jupiter, and it's very little, but I don't want to know those things.
you should listen to the Boring Space one about like the size of different things in the universe because once you go outside of the Milky Way galaxy and you're like, oh, things are gnarly out there. Like there's places where you can fit like a million suns inside of them and they're like bigger than our sun. There's one black hole, I forgot where it's at or what like galaxy it's in, that's bigger than the Milky Way galaxy. And you're like, I don't even understand what that means. Like it means you literally put the entirety of everything we
What is
know.
it doing out there? Like,
I don't
why?
know. I
That's
don't
why I wish I
know.
didn't know. It
That
like
was my
it makes like my collarbone hurt. Like that's the feeling I get when I think about space too much. Like I get anxiety like up here and like the top of my chest is like where I get like
I know. The more I've like looked into it, I think it's Thomas Jefferson that was a deist. Do you remember this from like high school school education or whatever?
I don't know. What does that mean? What do you mean?
Where it was like it's this religion where there's no like saints or whatever. You just like fixate on like a God started everything and then just like left. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of makes I don't get what happened before the stuff happened. Like,
Ugh,
how did it start?
that's what I'm saying. I have no
What's on the other
idea.
side of it?
Don't know. And that's what I'm so it's happening again. I'm getting that anxiety in my collarbone.
Like what you said, like with the edge of space or whatever. Like, okay, what's past that? Like,
Right.
what's
Okay. So I
it?
looked it up. We can't see it because light hasn't reached it yet.
I know, but I'm saying if the universe is expanding, what's it expanding into?
I don't
Like, what's
know.
outside of that?
Not dragons.
It's dragons. It's got to be.
I don't know what else.
It's so freaky the more you think about it.
It really is. I hate thinking about it. Like it's cool, but almost it's like it's too much for me. It's
Yeah, it's
wild.
hard to comprehend. The Lightyear one is fascinating. The Lightyear one that the boring space guy did is like really interesting because it's
Yeah.
like you can't even understand what a light year is. Like your brain will even one, and then they're talking about like, oh, this one's 13 billion light years away. It's like what? I don't even like that makes no that's not even a number. It's crazy. Anyways, that's my story. Pluto, if you think it should be a planet, tell us. If you think it shouldn't be a planet, tell us. If you're unopinionated, also tell us.
I feel like they did it dirty by making it like a negative word for something being like demoted.
I think it's kind of cute. I think it like shows that we cared about it so much that we were like, you sullied this thing that we
Th-
like.
This beautiful tiny thing.
To be fair, they did that before they knew there was a heart on it. If they
That's
saw the
fair.
heart, they probably would have kept it.
That's fair. That's fair.
So cute.
Um, yeah, yeah. Um, Speaking of listener mail, so far nobody has emailed in that they've been reading romantasy books just like me. Um, but if you've been meaning to and you have an opinion on Eris, if you know, you know, right in. I want to talk to you about it. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, my hands up.
You mean the
I'm
dwarf
raising.
planet I just mentioned? Or
Nope. I mean the person in
damn
the
it.
books. If you know, you know.
Oh
Um,
my God. It is
cool.
the
Thank you. That
Pluto
was
the
fun.
dog. I can see it.
Right? I can't believe that happened at the same time.
Yeah.
That's wild. Huh.
Sweet. Do we have any listener mail?
No, I kind of peppered it in.
All right.
But please
Um,
email us, doomtofellpod@gmail.com. You can Instagram message me. We're on all the social media. You can TikTok message me. I'm sure TikTok has messages. And we'll figure it out. I'd love to hear from you. What are your
yeah, if you have
thoughts?
any topics, let us know. Always
Do you
looking
know what's
for ideas.
beyond? Do you like the movie Event Horizon? Do you think what's beyond the edgeable universe is like a weird, naked, sexy hell? Because
Uh,
that's what happens in the movie.
that is, what do you watch? Did you watch the erotic fanfic version? It was
There's a
horrible.
whole part in Event Horizon where they're like all having sex with each other and also pulling off each other's arms and eating them,
Where's the sexy part of that? They're eating each other's eyeballs. Like,
but in like a erotic way.
oh God, I'm never watching a movie with you.
Fine, we don't have to.
Fine.
Um,
All right, yeah. Write to us, doomtofallpod@gmail.com, all the socials, and we'll join you all again next week.
thank you.
Thanks, Taylor.